Alright everyone, this is our Taurus field with those two pesky dots that I talk so much about. And the Mayans and others never forgot. Now the Popul Vuh is a compilation of the old legends and tales passed on down the generations. And in there we can see echoes of source. And of that configuration. They called it the heart of Huracan. They said it was the heart of the sky and the heart of heaven, the giver of richness. And they said, turn toward us your power and your riches. And there were three that made up this heart of the sky. What we call today Saturn, Mars, and Venus, that morning star. And they begged for the heart of heaven not to leave them. But it did. Because the sun we look upon today is not the one we had. And they were obsessed with this morning star, with Venus. And they talk about the coming of the sun and moon and stars. If your original dwarf star plasma sphere is destroyed and dissipated, and you see the stars for the first time, you're going to take that as creation of those stars and that newly arrived moon and sun. Responsible for the breakup of that alignment. They would watch this morning star, and they said, we came from there, but we have separated. Don't forget about source and the two. They all watched it, took turns watching it. They contemplated that morning star, just like Isaiah did in the Old Testament when he said, is this really the one that destroyed cities and brought the nations low and shook the earth? And so these are the ideas and concepts they passed on. That time when they were tired of waiting for the sun. When they were dying of cold. They could no longer bear the cold or the ice. Since when did Mayans ever have to deal with ice? Well, they are telling you right here that they did. When they were waiting on that sun. And they say all this happened when the flood came. A flood was brought about by the heart of Huracan. A great flood was formed. They also present the idea that there was a great loss of wisdom. They say they were endowed with intelligence. They saw, and instantly they could see far. They succeeded in seeing. They succeeded in knowing all that there is in the world. When they looked, instantly they saw all around them, and they contemplated in turn the arch of heaven and the round face of the earth. The things hidden in the distance, they saw all. Without first having to move, at once they saw the world, and so too from where they were they saw it. Great was their wisdom. Their sight reached to the forests, the rocks, the lakes, the seas, the mountains, and the valleys. It sounds like some third eye remote viewing Akashic records kind of stuff. And the gods said, "What shall we do with them now? Let their sight reach only to that which is near. Let them see only a little of the face of the earth." They changed the nature of their works. Then the heart of heaven blew mist into their eyes, which clouded their sight as when a mirror is breathed upon. Their eyes were covered, and they could see only what was close. Only that was clear to them. This is our sentence that we are going to tell you. Since neither your great power nor your race any longer exist, and since neither do you deserve mercy, your rank shall be lowered. Not for you shall be the ball game. What ball game are they talking about? They talk about the hero-warrior twins and their cosmic ball game. There's also this idea of the loss of speech, the ability to communicate with each other. It coincides with the loss of the heart of heaven. We have given up our speech. What have we done? We are lost. How were we deceived? Those two hero warrior twins. And what they did in the presence of the heart of heaven. Looks familiar, right? Everything I've been showing you. A toroidal form with the two. Everything they did on the order of the heart of heaven. And then they went, each one carrying his blowgun, and went down in the direction of Zababa. Are these blowguns? Or are they flutes? I guess it depends on who you ask. Ultimately, these twins, it says, they rose up in the midst of the light, and instantly they were lifted into the sky. One was given the sun, and the other the moon. Then the arch of heaven and the face of the earth were lighted, and they dwelt in heaven. It's all cosmic origins. The twins shooting of a steeply descending bird. It's the winged disc. Always the two. Don't forget source. goddess with the two. The configuration transforming into that winged disc and descending mountain. Have a good night, guys.